Welcome to the Public Relations Review podcast and to our listeners all across America and around the world. Well, as we know, the COVID pandemic has changed the way we now book clients on for TV interviews. Those in-station and on-the-set interviews have all but disappeared. So how can we better prepare for satellite and virtual media tours to enhance our success? Well, my guest today has an answer for you. He's CEO of DS Simon Media in New York City, where he joins us from today. DS Simon Media helps clients get their stories on television through satellite media tours and by producing and distributing video content to the media. His recent booklet, 25 Tips for Satellite Media Tour Success, helps you better understand how to look and sound your best during a television interview. Now, Douglas, welcome to the podcast.
Peter, thanks so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
First, I just wanted to make some clarification because when I think of satellite media tours, when I was doing, I'd take the client into a studio, they'd sit on a set, and we'd feed them up by way of satellite, and the stations would take them down. You know, normally we've got to know what satellite they're on, the various and sundry frequencies, so forth and so on. So help people understand the difference, if you will, between the actual satellite media tour and virtual media tours.
Well, what's changed most dramatically is where your spokesperson needs to be located to participate in what's still known as a satellite media tour. I mean, the huge popularity of satellite media tours has always been based on the fact that they're actually virtual. You don't have to travel from city to city, and you can do 25 to 30 plus interviews within a 5-hour period. So what's changed is now, as a spokesperson, you could either connect directly to a station one-on-one if you've got a one-off interview, but if you're looking to do a tour with lots of interviews, you need a type of central production to connect with from anywhere, and then have that signal delivered to the station.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's get to your booklet. Obviously, I have a copy of it, and I've had a chance to look at it. And let me say, one, the visual, it's a good-looking piece, but it's also very well organized. So, you know, we're talking about planning and pitching and what to do before and after the tour, or during the tour and afterwards. So why don't we start with, let's say, planning for a satellite media tour?
Sure. So obviously, just as pre-COVID, you need to have a story angle that's of interest to the media that serves the interest of your organization. But there's a number of things that have changed that will really affect how you plan for a tour. Probably the single biggest change is the media's increasing interest in speaking with brand spokespeople. In our most recent survey of 61 TV producers, 92% of them said they were open to interviewing brand spokespeople for the story. So that's a key piece. Who is your spokesperson going to be? What is the story angle or angles? Often you want to have more than one pitch angle. And a real important point to make as you're planning is it's not just a one message media opportunity. These interviews are typically 2.5 to 3.5 minutes long on television. Radio interviews can last 5 minutes in length. So really think of it as a conversation where multiple points can be made, and it's going to be a mix of newsworthy information and content that will help